Today's video is about cheating in Destiny 2, and in the following clip, it will be pixelated and names will not be mentioned. Please, 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 do not mention suspected names in the comment section. I assure you, the right people who can handle this will be notified. We don't need to be giving these idiots any clout. So without further ado, bear witness to the unedited video, besides the pixelation, of what I say is a pulse rifle firing way faster than it should be able to. Please watch.
He's gonna pop me. He's gonna kill me with that super watch. Or with his pulse. Just with his pulse.
Just pop your super. Just pop your super. Earthquake, you ready? 1v11?
Like, look! My man's a hacker! What the fuck is that? Yo! My man! Nah, that ain't right! That ain't right! Yo, this man, yo! What is... Yo, nah!
Pop your super.
Yo, this ain't right! This game trash, I can't...
I'm playing the video again in black and white so I can add some audio commentary to help clear up what you're actually seeing. So our protagonist here is 1v1ing the alleged hacker. He emotes to see around the corner, his teammates on the audio comms tell him to pop his super, he pops it out of cover, which normally isn't that big of a deal because you can tank everything, but of course he dies to a fully automatic pulse rifle, is flabbergasted that he died to it, and then begins to think that he can duel him in the subsequent duels. Not gonna happen. As you can see, he gets tore up again and again and again until the hacker wins the match. Now, normally when I get these videos sent to my inbox, I just pass the information along to the right people and goodbye account if the evidence is strong enough. However, with this case in particular, this is what tipped the scales for me to decide that I wanted to make a video on this today. The thing that tipped the scales was a string of direct messages from the protagonist and the cheater, and what I read was just disgusting, and so that's when I decided, let's make a video. But before I show you the actual messages, let me build some context with what you just saw. So it's clear that our hacker, in quotation marks, I'm just gonna call him a cheater for the rest of the video. It's clear that the cheater is just trying to have an ego 1v1 to prove he's the best and somehow feels that cheating is justified in these scenarios. With the message on screen now, our cheater is in the red and our hero is in the blue. The cheater says, "Here's a clip from me earlier today," to which our hero responds, "You're cheating again. Why?" question mark. The cheater responds, "To keep my dominance." What? Our hero responds, "No dude, that's not cool. Play fair, man, please." Then the cheater has the audacity to say, "Would you rather somebody DDoS?" As if normal cheating's justified, but DDoSing is the worst of cheating. No man, that's pushing it too far. Wouldn't want to DDoS, but everything else is fair game. To that, our hero responds with, "No, I would rather someone play normal. Why cheat at all?" question mark. And then the cheater responds with what is arguably the best part of this whole video. Like, when I read this, I was rolling on the floor laughing. I could not believe a human being actually said this. No dominance leads to no control. This man sounds dead ass like an anime villain. He's dunking on 12-year-olds at the middle school basketball court over here with the rapid fire pulsing somebody down, zooms in on his face. But for real, cheater my man, like, that is not a good life motto to live by because your logic just doesn't make any sense. A, you're playing a middle schooler. 2, you're playing on console. So if your life motto is no dominance leads to no control, well, unfortunately, bitch, you're not controlling anybody. Because the sad, sad truth is that even with cheats, if you search at the 5500 bracket on PC, you will still get trucked. These people are human aimbots. And little do you know, Destiny is a game that already has cheats built into it. So if you feel the need to cheat in a game that already has cheats, like, that's the lowest of the lows. For instance, you shoot me, I now know your GPS coordinates. I can just bounce a fighting lion at you and kill you without you even having a sight line on me. Take this background gameplay for instance. I snipe a trip mine out of the air. Find me a cheating program that does that shit, because you're not gonna find it. And even if you do find it, you've already maxed your mom's credit card with this little rapid fire hack you got going on here. Probably just set a Cronus max and like search this shit up yourself. So yeah, maybe I sound pissed right now, but it's actually just hilarious because I've dealt with your kind in the past. the ones who have no problem cheating, but when my team suddenly plays so good that it doesn't matter if you're cheating, suddenly that little gray area where you're like, at least I'm not DDoSing, you turn to DDoSing, because there's no way you can beat us. And believe me, even that has its limits. I'm over here awakening the war mind. I have a VPN for my VPN. The bottom line of this conversation is that when you're beat by a better team, the first thought shouldn't be, well, I guess I need to cheat to be as good as them. It needs to be, wow, maybe one day through practicing and playing a video game, I can get as good as them. Or even if I can never get as good as them, at least I'll get better than where I was yesterday. That's why we play video games, my man. That's why we play video games, because if everybody's cheating, then suddenly you can just win with one press of a button. No thinking, no pressing it better than another person, none of that. At that point, I'm just gonna go watch the Avengers Endgame like 3 times in a row. Basically, playing with third-party cheats is just cheating yourself out of the experience of playing a video game. Even with the in-game cheats, like let me give you some examples. You remember Titan skating, you remember rapid-fire exploits and that sort of thing. I could do all of those manually, and I'm not talking about a scroll wheel. I'm saying I would set multiple jump keys and just rapid dash that shit on the keyboard. Sounds like I'm hacking into the mainframe to Titan skate, but I could manually do it. So it's not technically cheating in that case, but I don't do it anyway because it provides such an advantage that if my opponents cannot reciprocate it, I'm going to win without any thinking whatsoever. To a lesser extent, this is why in quick play you don't see me running around with a one-eyed mask, because when I use it, it doesn't really feel like a game anymore. But even if I was to abuse everything under the sun outside of third-party cheats, my opponent isn't going to be thinking like, man, that guy's super good. They're going to be like, wow, that guy's a f***ing loser. But now we bring third-party cheats into the equation, and they already thought you were a loser for using in-game exploits. Like, they must think the lowest of the low for using third-party cheats. Like, it is laughably funny. And I totally understand that some cheaters just do this to get a rise in people, but I guarantee after experiencing this, they're just like, they turn the game off and they don't think of you. They go make dinner, they go talk to their family, they go do something productive. Sorry to inform you, but if I play against a cheater, unfortunately there's nothing I can do sometimes, so I don't get mad. Why? I have no control over that. I promise you that most of your opponents aren't screaming your name in vain. They don't think you're some godly player. They're just like, wow, this guy's life, it must be really, really sad. I feel bad. Tear rolls down their eye, you know? But let's switch gears here for a second. I think everybody is savable. I'm very sorry for being a dick, but some things must be conveyed in a certain manner for the fucking message to get across. Normally I'd say at this point something very snarky, like if you get a tattoo that says no dominance leads to no control across your back, I will take this video down. But you know exactly who you are. You shoot me a message that shows that you are genuinely going to change for the better and really start thinking about others and how your actions affects them in a video game. You say something along those lines, and this video is taken down. No sweat. But if I still hear you're cheating, you know, playing ego 1v1s against 12-year-olds, well, sorry my friend, but I am petty enough to make you my #1 priority because the content's hilarious. I'll borrow as many accounts as I need. I'll shit talk till the cows come home. I'll lure you into 1v1s, make you think that you're winning against a 12-year-old, and then just turn around and mollywop you. It'll be hilarious. It's free content. If I wasn't demonetized, like, that is just fattening my pockets. Like, I'm salivating at the thought of that. But I'm not gonna do it unless you continue. So yeah, maybe I didn't have to make a video on this. Maybe I didn't have to get this petty. But would you rather somebody DDoS?